Good morning, everyone. Another fine day. I turned so close. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was fucking terrible. So, hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. So, if you guys couldn't tell, I just want to do a quick reminder. I'll be doing videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Early access people will get to see the Monday and Wednesday, the day it happens. Friday, they'll be uploaded publicly. And, yeah. So today, what to talk about today? So many things. For me, I was able to wake up pretty early, which is nice. I've been waking up early these past couple days. Been going to bed relatively on time. Yeah, within about an hour of my normal bedtime. So that's been good. I guess just the idea that I was fucking up and not doing so hot and just focusing kind of helped reground me. So, you know, and doing these vlogs really helps because it makes me focus on keeping myself accountable, which is nice. So even if no one watches them, which I know people do, don't get me wrong, but even if nobody watches them, it helps me. It surprisingly helps me. And it makes me wonder how many of those, those TikTok vloggers that, like, I start my morning routine and it's like they already look pretty. Like, they woke up like 2 hours before and just got ready to do the video because they have to look pretty. Anyway, off topic. I just wonder how many of the people that actually do these vlogs do them simply just to keep themselves accountable, not necessarily because they're trying to do something with it. But yeah, so fun times. In the life of Corwin at the moment, I'm in the final stages of completing my name change. So for those of you guys that don't know, changing my name officially to Corwin. I've wanted to for many years, and I decided to ask my mom for her blessing because I felt that changing my name without discussing it with her. Originally, I was just simply going to wait until she had passed away, but not only was that a morbid thought, but I thought to myself, like, why not just talk to her about it? And I did, and she was overly accepting. I am very glad to have a mother that loves me and treats me the way that she does. I know not everyone has a fantastic relationship with their parents, and I do not take my privilege in this regard for granted. I love my mother dearly. I talk to her every couple weeks, just check up on her. I haven't always, and me and my mom have talked about this actually, because my grandmother was actually kind of drilling her in regards to, like, oh, why don't we hang out all the time, or why don't we communicate all the time? And my mom pretty much told her something that I just had been doing and hadn't really been thinking about. She's like, you know what? I know that my boys love me, and I also know that my boys do their own thing, and they're very independent, and they talk to me, when they want to, and they don't when they don't, and I know that no matter where they are, they care about me. And I thought, like, damn, that's hella true. Like, very confident in a relationship when you can say that even without contact or without interaction, that you are secure in the knowledge that you are in a good place. And I thought, man, that is, having relationships like that in general is definitely, like, those are goals, right? Like, everyone, we each have different circles of friends, right? We have our acquaintances, people that we come into contact with over the last couple years especially, it's been very interesting for me to get a huge reality check in those that I consider family versus not. And I've had a really interesting journey really adjusting myself to the prospect of, I invest a lot of time, energy, and mental effort into people, and a lot of times I'll get not even the bare minimum in return. And I have this problem of love bombing people because I get really close, and then when that gets rebuffed, that I completely disconnect. And it usually comes at the price of my emotional state for a couple days, which I like to think that I'm a fairly solid person emotionally, but sometimes things like that, they just really get under my skin. And when you're close to somebody and you invest all that time and effort, and you realize that not only are you not going to get that in return, but that effort itself is hardly appreciated. Yeah, it's just rough, And I'm not perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. And what I might perceive as giving love and attention may come across as overburdened annoyance. And, it's all perspective at the end of the day. And I've been hurt a lot in these regards in the past, I want to say year alone. A really large reality check. People that I thought were close, people that I thought were family, people that I thought really cared or valued me. And I have kind of had that reality check of no, what you consider this strong bond is strictly one-sided. And not all the time is that on the person in question, and that reality itself is part of the really reflecting and maturing process, I think. Realizing that, first of all, that no one is what's the term, obligated to be your close friend or your family member. Nobody is required to give you the love back that you deserve. Or not that you deserve, sorry. They're not obligated to equal you. So if you are giving all this love and attention to somebody and they don't want to give it back, or they just don't give it back because that's not the kind of person they are, that's okay. And I've had a few things from people also kind of thrown back in my face, really heavily, very backhandedly, and those were reality checks. A lot of those messed me up. And again, maybe that's just my perspective, but just as their feelings are valid on the matter, so are mine. And it's been interesting. I have been much more willing to drop friendships and interests in people that clearly don't hold that same level of, at the very minimum, respect for me. It was very interesting. I had a situation happen not too long ago, and I had a friend that was trying to alleviate the situation, and they put it pretty straightforward. They're like, hey, this situation might not be fully resolved, but I guarantee you it will go heavily in your favor if you just show Corwin some respect, because he's a simple guy, and that's realistically all he wants is to feel like he has a bit of respect. And I thought, I never really thought about it in such simplistic terms, I think that, you know, the idea of like, oh, you need to respect me type deal, like, I've never really liked that notion. But maybe it's because I didn't want to face the reality that that's all I really needed was just a little bit of love and respect. And I was like, damn. And then when I start realizing that I'm hardly getting it from a lot of people that I am investing actively in and spending time with and like trying to do things for, I'm just like, damn. Like, what am I doing with my time? The last couple months especially has really taught me that my time is valuable as fuck. You know, I'm so busy, and I'm about to try to get even busier. I'm gonna be trying to get a second job here soon. You know, because I want to make more money. That's why I've been trying to stream more, and kind of come up with alternatives for things for the server to kind of help me fund those, because I can't keep bringing them out of my own pocket. So that's, you know, that's been a big stressor on me recently, you know, just finances. And not even necessarily like, oh, I'm drowning in money or you know, drowning in lack of money, or I don't have enough money to be able to do the things that I want. But I do have, you know, it's come to that point where I have to start making the adult choices. And you know, even though you guys have seen me be fairly frivolous with my money when it comes to like buying people things or giving away stuff or buying people like skins and stuff, you know, suddenly I'm doing these, like, trying to enter these contests. Like for Baldur's Gate, it felt really weird because it's like, you know, the concept of being broke versus being broke. Like when you tell your friends, oh no, I can't do this, I'm broke. And it's like, you have money in the bank. You could do that thing, but that thing will set you back in a way that won't be positive. And then there's broke, where you just don't have the money. Like you ain't got shit. So right now I'm kind of in a situation where I have to remind myself constantly, like, okay, you are broke. You could afford things. I could have bought Baldur's Gate all on my own, and to further prove that, I mean, Javi ended up just buying it for me as a gift to be really sweet. You know, I was trying to get it as part of a contest and stuff like that, and even though I still ended up investing money, which I don't regret in the slightest, you know, I knew what I did. I wanted to be supportive of Renegade's contest to begin with, and even, I don't care that I didn't win. But, you know, it's just that thought process. It's like, it feels so weird to me because I'm doing all these different things, and I feel like I'm walking a fine line between wanting to be more financially stable / focused, and like, I don't want to just be asking for handouts. So I'm trying to put in a lot of effort into like doing things like these videos and making being a supporter worthwhile. But I don't, at the same time, I don't want to come across as like, oh, I have all these avenues that I'm just asking for money for. Because I do want to do more. I do want to be a better content creator. Yeah, that's been very interesting. It's been very interesting and very fun. But at the same time, it is stressful. And all that kind of ties back into, you know what, my time is valuable. And I should value it. I should not waste time with people that are going to waste my time. I shouldn't put effort into things that aren't going to return that favor in some way. Not like from an emotional standpoint. Overall, from an emotional standpoint. Just kind of like reminding myself, like, hey, you know, why should I be stretching myself thin trying to do all of these things and also investing time into somebody that's just going to absorb it and not like try to return the favor. You know, sometimes I forget and sometimes I lose my way, but I'm very lucky to have the friends that I have and the people that have been so generous and kind to me. And I really appreciate all of you. For the long-term OGs to the silent, you know, just kind of supporters. I mean, you know who you are. You've been here a while. You've supported me in different ways, sometimes monetarily, sometimes emotionally, and sometimes just by, you know, just interacting with others. And that's another thing too that I've really it's very interesting about how this community has grown is there are some people that are in the server that don't interact with me at all. They primarily just interact with each other, and that's fun. Like, as we continue to grow, as we get bigger, you know, that is, you know, that's where we're at. Like, that's what happens. And, you know, that's fine by me, because I love seeing that growth. I love seeing people interact with each other. But with all that being said, I'm going to head into work. Thank you guys so much for coming out. Be safe, and most importantly, watch out for dragons.